it discusses about business cycle, expansion, contraction, and so on. It discusses about the real GDP, yeah, and it discusses about the unemployment. So the ups and downs in the business cycle, yeah. For example, like the current situations that we have right now. During the pandemic, the tourism sector is going down, yeah. The IT sector is going up, yeah. But now, when there is no pandemic or less pandemic, the tourism is going up, the IT is stable. So those kind is macroeconomics that we need to discuss. Yeah, why we need that? We need to know this macroeconomics. Of course, it is important that we need to know what is the causes, what makes this expansion, what makes this going down. Yeah, and we look into whether the possibility of downturn of the business cycle is due to the things which is not Sharia compliant. Yeah, that is why we need the Islamic macroeconomics from the Islamic perspective. Yeah, and then what is macroeconomics from the Islamic perspective? Our discussion conclude that, of course, we need to produce things, yeah, in a macro level, because macro is combinations of the micro is a tree, macro is a forest, yeah? And we need to know the production that achieve falah, because our discussion just now about what is macroeconomics is that in our study about the Keynesian, the production is for only the one who is willing to buy and the one who has money. Yeah, for those of the people, for those of the customer who is willing to buy but not having a money, the producer will not produce that things. And this is against the Islam. So that is why in the macroeconomics, the important role of the macroeconomics is government. Yeah, we cannot let fully the market, the economics according to the market. If we let fully the economics according to the market, there is a possibility that there is no production for the poor. There is no production for those who is willing to buy goods but do not have money. Right? So that's why in the macroeconomics, the role of government is very important. When we bring Islamic macroeconomics, that is the role of government. Yeah. Okay. Next. Okay. These are the three, because I took this in one of the chapter in the book of macroeconomics. The macroeconomics, there are three big pictures. It is about the growth of the real GDP, the price level, and the unemployment. So the business cycle, yeah, we need to know in our discussion about the Islamic macroeconomics, we need to know what is the factors that determine the ups and downs of business cycle. We need to know the factors that determine the business cycle. Yeah? And also, the growth of real GDP, we need to remind our students that our objective is not just GDP in numerical sense. Yeah? That is conventional. Because the current era is easy to compare one country to another country, which one is more advanced and so on, based on the numerical value of the GDP, the percentage growth, and so on and so forth. But the discussions on the Gini ratio, the economic development is very much less. So in our discussion about from the Islamic perspective, we need to remind the student that GDP, although it is numerical, but the growth has to also consider the economic development, the equality, the maslahah, and so on and so forth. Yeah. With regard to price level change, what we are discussing in our group, in group 1, about price level change. Price level going up, inflation going down, deflations. Yeah. Yesterday, when I present about the inflations, we are more towards the increasing trend of the price. Although the price is ups and down, but if we look in the long term, the price is going up. The example is very easy. Try to recall back 10 years back when you buy something, 20 years back when you buy something. Remember the price that you bought at that time. And try to look at the current era, the same price, the same goods that you buy right now, of course the price is increasing. So the price increase is due from what? If you go to the supply and demand, yeah, the price is the equilibrium price. The price that you bought in the market is the equilibrium price. So the increasing price can be due to the three things. Yeah, the increasing price can only be happening if the demand is much more than the supply. Yeah, the demand is much more than supply. So of course, in the price levels change, we need to know the factors that makes the price changes. And again, the ultimate decision is not the market, let the market to decide, but the ultimate important role is the government. As I said, the price change increase is because the demand is more than the supply. So the role of government has to think about speed up the process of the supply so that it can catch the movement of the demand. How? Optimizing the idle asset, educating the people, yeah, and innovations, yeah, and things like that. So here the price level change, yeah, factor determine the price level change, discussion on the supply and demand. The ultimate important entities in this thing is the government. If we talk about the micro individuals, individual will, in the context of Keynes, will contribute on the C as a consumption. If we talk about the individual firms, if we go to the Keynes, it will contribute on the investment. Yeah, but G as the government role, it refer only in the macro, but not in the individual, in the micro level, right? So this is the role of government has to be stressed when we discuss about the macroeconomics. Lastly, is about the unemployment. In the context of unemployment where people do not have a job, again, this is macroeconomics, and from Islamic perspective, again, the role of government is very important. Unemployment, the role of government has to do more in order to make this unemployment go down. How? Opening job opportunity, upscaling the older people. Almost finished. Upscaling, yeah. For example, like in the case of Indonesia, we have so many, in my expertise, idle wakaf land. Why don't we utilize this all the idle wakaf land? The role of government is to force those of the Nazir who didn't do anything about the wakaf land. Yeah, the government should punish those Nazir, for example. Why? Because when the Nazir didn't do anything on this idle wakaf assets, who will get the disadvantage? Of course, the mouth of Allah. So that's why the role of government is very important to ensure that all the assets, the potential assets, has been utilized in a proper way, so much so that many labor will be absorbed, and then the unemployment will go down. Next. Next. Okay. That is my last slide. Actually, we have not finished, but due to the limited times, yeah, don't have time. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.